Good morning to all of you. First of all, I want to introduce myself. Myself Ankit Acharya, working as an assistant professor in Hasmukh Goswami College of Engineering. And today my content is GTU question paper with solution of November-December 2010 of the subject of vector calculus and linear algebra. So already we seen this paper up to question number 5A. So we just left out the from question number 5B. So let's see question number 5B. Find the unitary matrix P that diagonalizes A and determine P inverse AP where A is equal to 6, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 4. This question asked in 5 marks. This question asked in 5 marks. So what we have to do in this question? We first of all find eigenvalues, then eigenvectors, and just put down the eigenvectors as a column wise. So that is our matrix P, but we want that matrix P is unitary matrix P, right? So let's see how we solve this question. Here is a characteristic equation of A. Determinant of A minus lambda I equal to 0. So in just main diagonal we add minus lambda, 6 minus lambda and 4 minus lambda. So the determinant is 6 minus lambda, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 4 minus lambda equal to 0. So just try to solve this determinant. 6 minus lambda into 4 minus lambda minus 2 minus 2i into 2 plus 2i, that is equal to 0. So lambda square, when we solve this equation, when we simplify this equation, we will get lambda square minus 10 lambda plus 16 is equal to 0. So just factorize of this equation, that is lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 8, that is equal to 0. So we get these two eigenvalues, that lambda is equal to 2 and lambda is equal to 8. Thus the eigenvalue of A are lambda is 2 and lambda is 8. Now I want to find the eigenvector corresponding to these two eigenvalues. So first of all try to find eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 2. So let's see how to find. Now x is equal to x1 x2 will be an eigenvector of A corresponding to lambda if and only if x is a non-trivial solution of this matrix 6 minus lambda, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 4 minus lambda into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0, right? So for lambda is equal to 2, 1 can be written as, just put lambda is equal to 2 in the previous equation in the first matrix. So we will get 4, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i and 2 into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0. So just try to convert this matrix into a row echelon form. Okay, just try to convert this matrix into a row echelon form. I hope that what is a row echelon form, that you should know very well, that how to convert any matrix into a row echelon form or reduced row echelon form. So that part is very basic part for the linear algebra. So just try to convert this matrix into a row echelon form. We multiply first row with 1 by 2 and also we multiply second row with 1 by 2. So the matrix 4, the first row is 4 2 plus 2i, that is become 2 1 plus I, okay, and the second row is 2 minus 2i 2, that will become 1 minus I 1 into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0. Now that 1 minus I in the second row, we want there some real number, so that's why we multiply second row with 1 plus I. We multiply second row with 1 plus I. So that is our next process, taking 1 plus I into R2. So we multiply second row with 1 plus I. So that's why you see 1 minus I, the second row become now 1 minus I into 1 plus I, right? So that is a minus b into a plus b, that is equal to 1 plus 1 minus I square, but we know that I square is minus 1, so that will become 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. And the second element is 1, so when we multiply 1 with 1 plus I, that will become 1 plus I. Okay, so here is the new matrix 2 1 plus I 2 1 plus I into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0. Now we don't need to convert this matrix into row echelon form, because whenever we multiply from this matrix, we will get only a one equation, that is 2x1 plus 1 plus I into x2 is equal to 0. And if you want to convert this matrix into a row echelon form, you have to multiply first row with minus 1 and add into the second row. You will get this matrix into a row echelon form, right? Because when you multiply first row with minus 1 and add into the second row, just the first row is as it is 2 1 plus I, and the second row becomes 0 0, right? So now from this matrix we will get only the one equation, that is 2x1 plus 1 plus I into x2, that is equal to 0. Now you can see in this matrix, when you convert into a row echelon form, in that matrix you will get only the leading entry only in the first column, right? You will not get second column have leading entry. So that's why we take x2 is equal to 1, taking x2 is equal to 1. In general we take x2 is equal to k, but just take k is equal to 1. You can take any constant, right? So take x2 is equal to 1. From that you will get x1 is equal to minus into 1 plus I divided by 2. Okay, so the given eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 2 is x1, that is equal to minus in bracket 1 plus I divided by 2 comma 1. Okay, now norm x1. Why we find norm of this vector? Because we want unitary, what is our question? Find a unitary matrix P, right? Find a unitary matrix P. Now what is the definition of unitary matrix? That you should know that P is unitary matrix if P star into P, that is equal to P into P star, that is equal to identity matrix, right? P star into P, that is equal to P into P star, that is equal to identity matrix, right? Now what is meaning of P star? Star of that matrix, that is exactly the conjugate of the transpose of the conjugate of the given matrix. So first of all you have to find the conjugate of that matrix, right? Conjugate of matrix means that is we define A bar, right? If A is any matrix, and if you want to find the conjugate of the matrix, then instead of complex numbers A plus IB, you have to just put A minus IB. That means what? The sign of the coefficient of I, that will become change, right? Sign of the imaginary part, in any complex number. Suppose A plus IB is any complex number. If you want to find conjugate of that complex number, you have to just put, instead of A plus IB, you have to put A minus IB. So similarly, if you want to find the conjugate of any matrix, in that matrix whenever you have a complex number, you have to, instead of A plus IB, you have to put A minus IB, right? So as for example here our A is equal to 6, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 4, right? If you want to find the conjugate of that matrix, what is our A bar? We normally denote A bar, right? That is equal to 6. The real number becomes same, right? 6, instead of 2 plus 2i, we have to put 2 minus 2i. Instead of 2 minus 2i, we have to put 2 plus 2i, and 4 is 4, right? And then transpose of that conjugate matrix of the given matrix, that is equal to A star, right? So the meaning of unitary matrix is that one, that A into A star, that is equal to A star into A, that is equal to identity matrix. If this thing happen, then we can say that A is a unitary matrix, right? So just keep in mind. Now we already find eigenvalues of the given matrix, we already find eigenvectors of the given matrix, not both of the eigenvector, but we already find the eigenvector for lambda is equal to 2, 2. Okay, we already find the eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 2, that is a minus 1 plus I divided by 2 comma 1, right? Now now we find norm of that vector, norm x1, that is equal to under root minus 1 plus I whole square upon 2 whole square, right? So plus 1 square, that is equal to under root 1 by 4. Just simple simplification that you can solve. 1 by 2 square, that is 1 by 4. Okay, 1 by 4, and 1 plus I square, that is equal to 1 plus 2I plus I square, that is minus 1. So 1 and minus 1 will be cancel out, 2I square. Now 2I is I square, that is minus 1, but we take mod, so we will get 2, right? So 2 by 4 plus 1, that is 1 by 2 plus 1, that is equal to root 3 by 2. So norm x1 we get root 3 by 2. Now we divided this vector x1 divided by its norm, right? So norm of x1 is equal to under root 3 by 2. So that's why we divided both of the coordinate by norm under root 3 by 2, which is exactly the norm of x1. So that's why we will we get the normalized form of vector is given by p1, that is equal to x1 upon norm x1, that is equal to under root 2 by 3 into minus 1 plus I divided by 2 comma 1. That can be written as minus 1 plus I divided by root 6, because 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. So 1 root 2 will be cancelled out from the numerator and denominator. So just 1 root 2 is left out in denominator. So root 2 into root 3, that can be written as root 6. So that's why 1 minus 1 plus I divided by root 6 comma 2 by root 6. Okay, and we put this vector as a column in the given in the matrix P. So that's why we note that dash, right? So for lambda is equal to, now we find a second eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 8. So for lambda is equal to 8, one can be written as just put lambda is equal to 8 in this equation, in this matrix. You will see, you can see 6 minus lambda, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 4 minus lambda. So instead of lambda, just put lambda is equal to 8. So you will get minus 2, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, and minus 4. Okay, correct? Again I repeat, instead of lambda we put lambda is equal to 8. So that matrix become minus 2, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, right? Okay, so again I repeat the unitary matrix, how we find unitary matrix. Now P is unitary matrix if P star into P, that is equal to P into P star. Okay, that is equal to identity matrix. Okay, and normally we use that matrix. Now in any matrix, how to convert into a row echelon form? How to convert any matrix into a row echelon form or reduced row echelon form? Just keep in mind, because in any to solve in such example in linear algebra, that we have to use that convert a matrix into a row echelon form. So here I repeat the conditions to become a row echelon form or reduced row echelon form. Okay, first condition to become a row echelon form, the leading entry, just take first non-zero element from the first row, right? First take first non-zero element. Below that non-zero element you have to make all the elements become 0. Okay, so take first non-zero element, which is our leading entry, right? First non-zero, which is our leading entry. Below that leading entry we want that 0. Below that leading entry we want that 0. Now leading entry should be left to right whenever we are going from above to below, right? So that is our second condition. Whenever we are going from above to below, right, from top to bottom, our leading entry is going from left to right. That is our second condition. And if there is any zero row, it should be the bottom of the matrix, right? So if these three conditions are satisfied, then we can say that a matrix is in row echelon form, right? Now reduced row echelon form. In reduced row echelon form, the two more conditions are added in these three conditions. So the total 5 condition should be satisfied. First of all, that leading entry is must be 1, and the second condition is in any column which have leading entry, except their leading entry, all the elements should be 0. That means what? If there is any column which have leading entry, below that leading entry and above that leading entry, right, all the elements should be 0. So these two conditions are added. So just keep in mind that how to convert any matrix into row echelon form or reduced row echelon form, because that is very important. If you don't know that how to convert any matrix into a row echelon form or reduced row echelon form, it's quite difficult to solve any example of linear algebra, right? So just I remind that one. Now just continue back our example. Now we already find the eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 2. So for lambda is equal to 8, just put lambda is equal to 8 and in this matrix. So we will get minus 2, 2 plus 2i, 2 minus 2i, and 4 minus 4 into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0. So minus 1, just divided by first row with 1 by 2. So you will get minus 1, 1 plus I, 1 minus I, and minus 2, that is equal to 0 0 into x1 x2, that is equal to 0 0. Now we multiply second row with 1 plus I with the same process as we done in the before that